We are continuing with a couple of guests from Forsyth County to help us shine a light on being a foster parent and really helping us out in the foster care community. Please welcome Miss Lynette King, who is the foster home licensing and recruiter, and Miss Cherith Dalton. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so I get a little nervous in this space because it's such an important topic, and I remember we had this raised before in our community, and it's just so important for us to really listen and be attentive and to respond to the need that we have in our fostering community. So, Lynette, you weren't here the last time. I confirmed that because I did ask that question. Mm-hmm. But please help us understand, again, what the need and what is the approach of our foster effort here in our county.
So we have a reduced number of foster parents, not nearly enough to meet the needs for children in foster care in our community. I have been working in this role in this county for several months, but I have spent several years being a foster parent trainer, recruiter. I've also been a foster care social worker working directly with the children.
So in our community, what's the need? What's the number?
So we were at 227 children in foster care, and that number is always changing. It's going up here. Increasing.
And what is then the primary effort with the foster care work in our county?
So we are trying to reach out to everyone and anyone here who can provide a safe home for these children. Anyone who wants to serve the community here. There is no nobler attribute than wanting to serve our children here. This is our future community.
So then if we want to restore, why would a child be taken from their family?
Children come into foster care for a number of reasons. Big picture is usually due to abuse and neglect here. If there is no safe caregiver for the child, we usually try to put preventative efforts in place to keep from removing the child and placing them in a foster home. Of course, if there is a safety issue, we must remove and put the children into foster care. For the abuse and neglect here, there can be very severe issues. There can accuse things like substance abuse, of course, physical abuse, just generally not meeting the needs of the children, or there are occasions where there is no safe caregiver available, either through dependency, a parent in jail, a parent hospitalized, things like that. Children also come into care for those reasons.
Wow. And Cherith, I want to bring you into this because you are an adoptive parent.
Yes.
And you have participated in the foster care system. What's your story? How did you get involved?
So I've actually wanted to do foster care ever since I was a little girl. I was exposed to it, just needs in our church. And so when my husband and I got married, I said, hey, there's an interest meeting about foster care.
Well, he really loved you, didn't he?
Well, we had discussed it before we got married, but so we went to an interest meeting and just found out if it was even an option for us because I still worked full time at the time. And so we didn't even know if it was going to be something we could do. And so that's what I encourage people to do. Just go find out, ask the questions, and get familiar with it. So fast forward, we got licensed, and then we were officially licensed in 2011, and then we fostered for 10 years. So we had 10 kiddos in our home and the opportunity to adopt 3 of them.
Did you say 10 kiddos?
Yeah, 10 kids.
That's the social worker. It's kiddos.
Okay, kiddos. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And you didn't just begin yesterday, 2011. So
right. It's been a minute.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah.
and then I guess, Lynette, your responsibility is to find more Cheriths in the community?
Yes.
How do you do that?
So we reach out to where the families are. We reach out to churches is a big one here. We definitely need our churches to be very involved with serving children and families in our community, as that's usually part of their ethos, is serving the community. We basically go where families are. I've gone to parks, I've gone through libraries, I've gone through too many events in the community here and spoken to many people who are interested in fostering. They just need to take that leap forward.
So then you mentioned around 200 or so youth, and where are they now? Are they all in the community, or what's the story?
No, usually when children come into care, it's first and foremost best practice to keep children in their community and keep as many connections as possible. However, what we are running into is there are not nearly enough foster parents in our community to keep the children not only in the county, but together with their siblings or close by. They have to change schools. They're separated from their siblings. We have kids placed all over the state, unfortunately.
Wow. Now, then, Chair, let's dig into your situation. You said you had 10 kiddos, 3 that you actually have adopted as part of the family. What were some of the financial challenges in doing that? Because it seems to me that you really are committed.
Well, the nice piece about foster care is that there was not a financial load on us as a family. The children receive a stipend that covers, clothes, extracurriculars, all the basic things. And even when you get a baby, that baby gets Medicaid, so formula was covered. Like the major expenses, we didn't have to face that on our own. And so as far as a financial burden on us, there wasn't one. That stipend more than covered the kids' needs when they came into our home. I mean, we're kind of, I buy secondhand clothes and that sort of thing and make things last longer. But
Yes,
to add to that as well, in addition to the foster parent board rate, all of the children come into care. They have Medicaid. You are also eligible for daycare vouchers if you are a parent that works or attends school full time.
So the real key is that you have to want to do this, you want to care, you want to give and be a part of a connection with our youth in our community, and the support comes with
right.
that. How much training did you have to go through?
So in the state of North Carolina, you have to complete 30 hours. TIPS MAP class is what it's called, and you complete that, and then there's the licensing process where Lynette can speak into that more specifically, but you have home studies and that sort of thing. So you do have to go through the training, and then your license is good for 2 years, and you have to complete 20 hours of continuing education over that 2-year period to maintain your license.
Okay, then, so from the time you decided that you wanted to become a foster parent, how long did it take before you actually were?
For us, it took a little bit longer because we were moving. And so we didn't do any of the home study stuff until we had moved. We knew that was coming, so we kind of put some things off. But it varies. The state's kind of behind on a lot of stuff, which is, common. But it just kind of varies based on what has to, like if you have to make any changes in your home, like we had to change the locks on our doors and stuff like that. So it may be 6 to 8 months full.
Okay. So then, Lynette, how then can I reach out to you? I want to become a foster parent. What do I need to do?
So you can reach out to fosteringforsythnc.com here. We do have information about our foster care program. It'll also give you a link to fill out an interest application. I am the main point of contact for all the foster parents. Okay. You are absolutely free to reach out to me through the department. Our number is 336-703-CHILD. If you wanted more information about the program, I am happy to talk to you and make sure you are fully informed about what it does take to foster.
Great. Now, Chair, I wanted to come back to you for this because it is about the heart. And I know that you have created sort of a family, even the adoptive and foster parent family. There's a network. But tell us about the impact that you believe this is having on you, as well as the children, because you now have adopted 3?
Yes.
Oh, okay, please share that with us.
I think when you talk about the expenses of fostering or bringing a child into your home, the expense is more emotional and sacrificing of your time and your energy, really getting to the root of trauma. If they come in with trauma, there's going to be behaviors that follow the trauma, and you can't necessarily parent typically. As a child who hasn't experienced that, you have to look at things differently. And so the expenses, it can be emotional and it can be hard. Like, I'm not going to lie, it can be very hard, and you see that play out, but then you see the rewards. And you see, like, we had a little one who couldn't handle a classroom because she was just so anxious, but now she loves it. Like, she's the most social child you'll ever see, and she thrives in it. And so as hard as the hards are, the rewards and the beauty and the healing is that much greater. And so when you can look back and see these moments of this child went from super anxious to super confident, or this child, we had a child who was afraid of going out in public because of what they had experienced, but now they aren't, and so you lean into the hard. And, I'm a believer, and so my faith is a huge part of that, and like trusting that God is going to grow and heal them. And like, we have 3 incredible little humans running around our house. Do they frustrate me? Absolutely they do. Yes. But they are not, how their story began does not dictate how their story ends. So
wonderful. Well, we do air on Sundays, so I think there's a reason for that. Yeah. So yes, but I want to thank you and all of the fostering community for really stepping up in this space in this time of need, and to just give an opportunity for you or Lynette, just say anything that you want to our community, because really this is a need that we should not let it go unmet.
I will say that, like Lynette said, people need to just take that leap and go to that informational meeting, ask the questions, because what happens is right now these 227 kids are a statistic, but when you bring them into your home, they're a person. And when you meet that person, that's when everything changes. And so make it personal, and it's worth it. It just absolutely is worth it. Beautiful.
Anything, Lynette?
I want to say that these children and families, they deserve safety within our community here. And it is up to us to provide that safety here, teaching them positive things, teaching them how to build positive relationships, learning positive attachments here. And being in their community gives them one less thing they have to worry about here.
Absolutely.
They know these streets, they can still stay connected to some of their friends and their teachers and their support system here. And that provides better outcomes for these children. I know it's a big thing here, pushing back with the system. Everyone says the system this. But we as a community are part of that system here, and we are responsible for improving it where it needs to be improved. And we cannot improve that unless we have families willing to work within the community and serve these children and families.
Wow. I'll start to say preach, but I just will say thank you for coming and sharing and being part of Empowering You.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.